This is for the Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's supposed to be a new game that's coming out, I think, later this year or pretty soon. Um, so this is just a little 3-minute trailer, and then we got a video of someone who played it early. And so I wanted to watch both of these. Because I've heard a lot of mixed things about it from people's first thoughts. And so I wanted to look at it, because I never really played a lot of the Assassin's Creed games. I mean, it looks pretty good, I'd say. I like the music. I like this type of music in games. I think this is just like the exploration. Okay, that system reminds me of like Far Cry for some reason. I don't know if any of the previous games kind of felt like that. That's the only thing I could really relate it to. Marking enemies too? Okay. Are you trying to take bosses out and stuff? Maybe the next video will show a little bit more on it. I wonder what this is gonna look like on Xbox. Well, there's a bunch of stuff, like a huge map and objectives. Looks like there's a lot of people to talk to. Oh yeah, this reminds me so much of Far Cry like 5. That might not be a bad thing. I mean, I liked Far Cry. Wow. Yeah, it looks really open.
Good view from here.
What?
Got it.
That's kind of cool, actually. Do you like track animals and paint them and stuff? That's pretty cool, actually.
So yeah, we got to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows because
So this is open world games. I've watched a couple of their things in the past. So I guess he was able to play it early, and so maybe he'll have some good insight on what he saw. I'm just gonna grab another drink real quick. But yeah, let's watch this. I'm kind of interested in
There's
this
been
game
some
now.
very interesting things happening around this game lately. We also got a bunch of brand new gameplay that was just revealed, and there's been a lot of negativity centered around this game, but lately things have shifted, and I really wanted to talk about that shift.
There
Because it looks
was a
like
lot of
Ubisoft is taking
negativity,
the
that's for
players'
sure.
feedback, and delaying this game might actually be the best decision. Because each time Ubisoft releases new clips of this one, it's looking better and better. And yes, I actually got to play this game very recently. I'm going to have my full coverage up on January 23rd, so whatever you do, subscribe, turn on the bell notification icon, and be on the lookout for my impressions and all new gameplay. And by the way, yes, I'm doing a very big Assassin's Creed Shadows giveaway, so for a chance to win a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows, be sure to follow that
Yeah,
link
you guys
in
should
the
follow.
top pinned comment, leave a like, and subscribe. But today we're going to talk about some brand new features that are definitely flying under the radar, because there's some really cool stuff going on here. And Ubisoft revealed all
has,
these
like,
stuff
all
that
the
we've gotta go
seasons,
over.
too.
So I'm going to
Wow.
be honest with you guys, there has been so much noise around Assassin's Creed Shadows, it has been crazy. And my opinion is I like to get my hands on the game and just ignore all the excess noise. That's just
Well, that's a good way to put it too, because I feel like I can watch people play the game all the time, but sometimes I don't know if I like it until I actually play it myself. But I mean, this looks it looks good. I know there's a lot of negativity about it, I think, and I don't know if that was even about gameplay or not. But
how I
from what I've seen, it looks okay. Like it looks like it'd be kind of fun.
am. I don't know if you guys are the same way or not, but I like to play the game and sit down with it and take my time
Yeah.
and see what it's like for myself. With that being said, when this game was first revealed and the gameplay demos were rolling out at first, yeah, the game looked rough. There were parts about the gameplay where I'm like, this looks like it needs more time in the oven. And guess what? Ubisoft made the wise decision, at least I think it was a very smart decision, to delay the game. Hey, yeah, take your time, make sure it's polished, give us what we really want as, you know, Assassin's Creed fans, as gamers. And that's what Ubisoft is hoping to do here. And they did delay it again a second time to March 20th. Which I'm not surprised by at all. I think it's smart
March
to get out of
20th.
the
That's
way
really
of
not that far
competition
away, though.
anyway, and
I'm
then
sure
also
people are
let
going to
the
be
team
ready
have
for
more
that.
time to cook. But from the recent gameplay demonstrations that have been releasing in the past month or so, you can see that the extra time the dev team has been given is apparently paying.
I mean, the assassinations look pretty good in that, or the stealth kills. Like, I've never been great at full stealth games, so I don't know if this would be something I would play yet or not. I mean, if you guys want to see it, I'll play it.
Off. At least I'm crossing my fingers that that is the case. And also, I think it's smart that they are focusing on Naue just because she's more of a stealth-focused character. And we all know that the DNA, the core DNA of Assassin's Creed, is stealth gameplay. And it is going to be nice to be able to have the option of playing as Yasuke as well on top of all this. But I really wanted to see,
So you could
Feudal
play as
Japan showcased
two different
in
people,
Assassin's
maybe?
Creed universe in
Or
a very
choose?
stealthy gameplay manner. And so far, the stealth mechanics themselves, they look legit. At least
could
in
knife
my
through the
opinion. There's
doors?
Some really cool features that they have really showcased through
That's
their
pretty cool.
gameplay demonstrations, and light and shadow being a big part of that, by the way. And they're placing more of an emphasis on that type of mechanic this go around compared to previous Assassin's Creed games, which is pretty cool. And they've also showcased some pretty cool mechanics, being able to hide in water and still be able to
What?
breathe with a bamboo pole.
That
This
is kinda
the type
cool.
of thing that I wanted to see from their initial gameplay demonstrations for Assassin's Creed Shadows. And it's nice to see that this sort of thing is actually ending up in the game. But I also got to say, even compared to the initial combat demonstration with Yasuke, that
that looks like I would miss the timing on
sharp as well. So if you want that gameplay style as a samurai, it seems like that is very much there. And there's always going to be that comparison of course.
I don't know, that fighting style
the
kind
ghost-
of reminds me of like Space Marine 2 when you get the blue and red pings to know what to do.
Tsushima, which is like one of my favorite open world games of all time. But
that game's
even
still hard
this
as
is looking
crap.
really, really sharp. And I gotta say, even though Naue is more of a stealth-centric character, even her combat looks absolutely badass. She looks like she's gonna be a little bit more fragile in combat, But man, she's got the moves. So to be able to have both different types of gameplay styles and to be able to switch back and forth between them, it worked very well, by the way, in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and it looks like it could work very well here as well. And I wanted to showcase this clip here in its entirety because this is one of the systems in the game that I am mostly excited about. They kind of did it a little bit.
The world
in
looks
Assassin's
really
Creed
pretty.
3 back in the day, but now they're taking it to an entirely different level, and I'm talking about seasons and of course the day-night cycle. But I wanted to focus in on the seasons here because it's also apparently going to impact gameplay and how you interact with the world, and also how NPCs interact with the world as well, which is really, really
like lightning
cool.
or something?
And apparently certain quest lines will open up or close depending on what season you are in, which is noteworthy. And one example they did give about seasons is that you'll find that when it's raining, NPCs will take shelter, or if you are dealing with, you know, snow-covered rooftops and there's icicles hanging from the roofs, you can actually knock off the icicles if you're like sneaking up on the roof and accidentally draw attention to yourself. So those type of mechanics I find very impactful to the gameplay, where you have to kind of be aware of
it sounds like they thought it out
notice the gameplay changes and adjust accordingly, which I absolutely love. And, you know, I gotta say, from what we're seeing from the seasons and that sort of gameplay, it looks like a visual feast for the eyes. And the dev team did mention that it is going to up the replayability for the game. So if you do revisit certain locations, you know, it's going to look very, very different.
Like, just look at that. That looks really good. And having multiple seasons and stuff. I feel like not a lot of games have really implemented that, especially with the missions, where different missions open or close based on seasons. Like, I know the only other game that I can think of off the top of my head was Forza Horizon 5, but it was like different seasons were like actual in-game seasons, I think, but it would switch from winter to spring to like fall to summer, and the different races would come around different times, but it would be like on a 20 or 30 day cycle. So I don't know if they had like a battle pass system or not. That's the only thing I could really relate it to, but that sounds really good.
Based on what season you're in, and I think that's going to up the longevity of this game big time. Because I loved it in Assassin's Creed 3, the differences between the seasons. I thought it was really cool how they implemented it, but it just looks like
I didn't play Assassin's Creed 3, so
different level here. And I think with this entry for the Assassin's Creed franchise, story is going to be more important than ever. You know, for me personally, the Assassin's Creed franchise has been all over the place when it comes to story. Still to this day, my all-time favorite Assassin's Creed game is Assassin's Creed 2. Let me know what your favorite Assassin's Creed game is. I'm actually kind of curious. Leave a comment down below. And I gotta say, there are so many
I only played the first one a little
bit. Tell in this era for sure, especially after watching Shogun, which has become one of my all-time favorite TV series ever. Yes, I really do hope that this story is good. And I actually did some homework to find out who the lead writer is for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it kind of bodes well. It's the lead writer of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and that one was actually well received, and still to this day, apparently that sells pretty good. And I can see why they rehired the writer from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because a lot of people did enjoy that story. And
it does look actually kind of
like
good.
The actual story
cool.
itself, there was a lot of personality with the characters. And I even said to you guys, you can have an average story, but if you have really, really good, lovable characters, that can elevate that story big time. So hopefully they put the characters first and foremost as priority when it comes to the writing. And I did also want to talk about how, yes, this is a full-blown RPG. You will have multiple dialogue options, and there's going to be branching story paths. I believe there are going to be multiple endings as well. But if you want to stick with what the writer wants you to experience,
even more replayability, right?
Cool. And I actually think it's a big feature that is flying under the radar, is that you can actually turn on the canon story option, which eliminates all those dialogue options and basically takes you on the path of a traditional Assassin's Creed story like Assassin's Creed 2. Where you don't have all those options, where instead the writer wants you to experience all the tonal shifts and the emotions that they want you to experience throughout the story. And I think that's actually a great choice, because if you want more of a traditional Assassin's Creed experience in the sense of the actual story itself, I think it would be wise to turn on the canon option if you want to just sit back and relax and enjoy the cinematics. Don't have to worry
Yeah,
about
that's
the choices
actually
and
really cool.
consequences, and have the story end up the way it's meant to be. And I honestly wish more RPGs would have that option, because I personally love that sort of thing. And then, of course, have that additional option of replaying the game on perhaps like a New Game Plus. I don't know if this game has confirmed New Game Plus or not. But anyway, yeah, being able
I don't
to
see
replay
why
the
this
game,
game
then
wouldn't
the
have New Game
dialogue
Plus,
options
though.
and seeing the differences between the canon experience is really, really nice. But yeah, you know, mentioning that this is an RPG, that's also something that ruffles some feathers. You know, some people want the absolute traditional Assassin's Creed experience where it isn't about, you know, dialogue options.
Dang, that weapon's kind of cool.
Health bars, leveling up, that sort of thing. Yeah, so this game is going to lean into RPG big time. Think of it more like Assassin's Creed Odyssey in that way, it seems, or even like Assassin's Creed Origins, and not like Mirage. But I think, again, you know, I've mentioned this beforehand, that it's cool that Ubisoft is catering to two different audiences here within the Assassin's Creed universe to really mix it up and not make Assassin's Creed so stale. So it's nice to know that, you know, they're bouncing from like the Mirage type experience, the traditional Assassin's Creed experience, and then opening it up
that's really cool.
to more of an RPG experience as well. But I also like the fact that they're giving you at least that option to kind of like center in with that story, with that canon story option at the very least. But yeah, you know, consider me curious about this one. Each iteration of gameplay has me looking at this like, man, that's actually looking pretty damn good, despite all the noise around this game.
Yeah, that
When you
horse
actually
armor
see
looks
it,
kind of
like,
cool.
it's looking very, very polished and solid so far. So crossing my fingers that the extra time that the dev team has been given really does help this game out in the long term. That March 20th date is definitely a little bit, you know, a ways off, but I'm willing to wait and see how this one pans out. Now, remember, yeah, you know, I did get to play this game recently. I can't tell you my personal opinions about it just yet, but I will be able to on January 23rd. And yes,
So that
I'm
must be when
also
they
giving
open
away
it
a
up so
copy
people can
of
actually
Assassin's
post
Creed
it.
Shadow to one lucky winner. So yeah, look out for that in the pin top comment if you want a chance to win a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more, and I will see you all
Fuck you,
next time. Take care.
Chiyama. You guys see that? That was cool. That was cool. I like this open world game, guy.